Hello, hello, hello. My name is Khadija Janice, and thank you for joining me today on an Awkwardly Funny podcast. I have other podcast episodes. I'm not sure if I'm going to download them and send them over to this channel, but I had them on another channel. But I want to focus more on travel content, workout content on that particular channel. So, or I might just do them over from a new perspective. But anywho, today I want to talk about some colorism, some South African things, the things that's going on that we see circulating about the whole failure of this EP, the extended play, or rather no play that Tyla is getting from her new release, right? And so if you haven't seen it, if you live under a rock, I'm pretty sure everyone has seen it, where she said that she's not black, that she's colored. And I get it. It may be something that's acceptable in South Africa, but in America, we don't play those type of things, okay? We don't do that. That's a derogatory term where we come from, and that's how they segregated us. It was whites and colors. So I get it. I haven't been to South Africa. I do plan on going next year. I'm booking a one-way trip, and I'm going to travel throughout Africa, but that's another story for another day, okay? But anywho, so let me start by saying this. I have no ill intent. I have no dislike for Africans or South Africans or whatever the case may be. But what really needs to be understood is that if you come to a country, that's like me going to South Africa and expecting everything to be the way that it is in Houston. Well, right now I'm in Mexico, as you can see, my little studio apartment. So right now I'm currently living in Mexico. So even while I'm living in Mexico, I can't expect the same things or the same treatment that I would get back in Houston or back in America, right? And so the first point where she effed up, okay, excuse my French, y'all. I do like to cuss a little bit. I'm from the South. So the first point where she effed up is saying she was colored, right? The second one was when she received a Grammy that she did not deserve, because I would have rather for someone else to get it if you're going to give it to an African artist other than Tyla. She has not paid her dues. T.Y. Savage, the baddest, okay? T.Y. could have got that Grammy. But that's neither here or there. So she proceeded to hand it off to someone like, girl, what are you doing? Like, be so for real, right? And then the third, what I really think just put the nail in the coffin for her, was when she was on the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne, and he gave her the opportunity to clear it up. That's all it would have took, was a simple explanation like, hey, where I'm from, it's not a derogatory term. Like, I rock with the black people. Cool. But no, she looked like he didn't even act. Like, it's a disrespect for me. Like, take your peanut head ass back home then, little girl. Like, we don't play those type of games over here. We just, well, in America, right? Because we don't care when people from other countries that are not America say that they're not black. We don't care. But the problem that we have is that y'all try to make being Black American a derogatory term or a derogatory thing. That's the issue that we have. I'm sure where she's from, because I'm not saying all Africans, a lot of Africans they still have a colonized mindset, and that's to be true about Black Americans. It's no different. Like, it's some coons in America as well. But what we have to realize is that sometimes we just have to adapt to the environment, right? So I understand that with fair skin, light skin, there's privilege there. I can say that for myself, as being a fair skinned woman in America, there is privilege. I feel that white people think that I'm less aggressive, they're less threatened by me. So I would get where her privilege comes from, being in somewhere like Africa, where the closer you are to whiteness, the better you are to an extent. And I mean, please don't come for me, because we know that is true. We see it on the billboards and the videos of people bleaching their skin, and their knuckles are black and their elbows are black and their knees. And they even have it in the song that said, the yash is not The nash is not matching the rest of the body because she has been bleaching the skin. So my point in saying all of this is that there is a hidden agenda when it comes, well, okay, it's kind of a conspiracy theory on my end, I guess. White people don't care that you're not a Black American. If you come to Mexico, if your skin, maybe not like mine, but if you look like you are a Black American, they will treat you like a Black American. If you are in America and you get your ass pulled over and you start saying, I'm not American or I'm not Black, they still will beat your ass just like they will anybody else in this country. You go anywhere in the world, your skin is dark, they're going to associate you with being Black. And that's just what it is. Like, I don't know where this thing comes from where, well, I know where it comes from. They hate us because they ain't us. I feel that the hate comes from just envy and jealousy because we have done nothing to people from other places outside of speak the truth. And so, I mean, it's to the point where we don't even care. Like, we don't have conversations. We don't go on social media talking about it. I wouldn't even be doing this podcast unless I kept seeing it on social media about how now it's our fault because Tyla's EP failed. No, it's her fault because she thought she was bigger than the program and she found out that she wasn't. Like, colorism exists across the board. I've experienced it, like reverse colorism. When it comes to being fair skinned, you know how many, like, don't let the beautiful face fool you. I have gotten into a lot of fights because darker skinned girls would say, hey, she thinks she's better than me because she light skinned. I never said that, but you think that I'm better than you. That's why you have this aggression towards me. That's why you have this hate towards me. And it's no different when it comes to the hate that people have against Black American. Just like these Black Brits, when it comes to us welcoming the Black Scottish people and just loving the way they speak and wanting to learn more about how it is, because most of us have never been to Scotland. Like, yeah, I know there's Black people everywhere, but when you see someone darker than you and they are speaking with a thick Sean Connery accent, you're like, hey, oh, this is actually real. But the thing about it is, if it had not been for social media, we would never encounter these people unless we happen to be like on a trip. Like, I met my first Black Brit this year. I kid you not. And he traveled to Cancun. And I was like, hey, he was like, oh, you know, the hinge thing, you know, the one and the two, whatever, y'all. And so, like, I ain't doing nothing. Let's do Sunday fun day. I took a bus, I met him, then we took the ferry over to a little island. We hung out, and his ignorance was like annoying. The fact that I had to keep informing him and correcting him, I'm like, hey, we're hanging out. I don't know much about you and where you're from and vice versa. But what we're going to do, we're going to respect each other. Because he kept saying things like, oh, Black Americans would rather go on OnlyFans before they get a job. Nigga, you don't know anything about us. Right? But you don't know how to convert your money to pesos. And you're crying and throwing a hissy fit about learning how to convert the money. I had a conversation with someone from South Africa because I'm going there, so I'm trying to connect with people, whatever the case may be. And he was like, oh, I didn't think this conversation was going to go this way. What the hell did that even mean? Like, right now, I am speaking with passion. I can get a little passionate when it comes to my people because I love my people. I love learning about new cultures, but I also love being Black American. And so one thing is going to bring us together like no other is when you start talking about Black Americans. We can talk about each other, just like siblings. I can talk about my sister all day long, but when you start talking about her, then we got to tussle. We got to fight, right? So that's the same thing when it comes to Black Americans and me just being Black. I love being a Black woman. I love what it embodies. I love what just the way that we do things, the way we can laugh and have a good time and make something out of nothing. I love that about us. I love our beauty. I love how we come in all different shades and sizes and just hair texture, kinky, curly, like just beautiful, y'all. I love my people down. You hear me? So when you start talking about my people, we got to have a conversation. So I am tired of having to correct people about their ignorance, and they're not willing to learn more and have conversations with people who are not like them. They keep saying that Americans are ignorant, Americans are this, and they don't know. But y'all, I could say the same thing about y'all, because y'all are going off what y'all see on TV and what they're promoting about us. That's always, for the most part, negative, right? Never have I once thought like, oh, everybody in the UK, they teeth messed up. But his breath did stink. They got it at Met. I was like, well, maybe it is true. Everybody eat beans on toast. Or whatever they tell us on, I don't know, because I don't care that much. Or even when it comes to Africans. Like, I never been like, oh, everybody over there living trees and y'all got HIV and y'all got AIDS. I never do that, because fortunately, I had the privilege of, I wouldn't say a privilege, but I have African friends in Nigeria, all over, right? And I was and I was married to Nigerian. So I got to see like the inside of like how they do things, the culture. And then, there's good people and bad people in every place, right? But I never tried to put people in a box. One thing people love to do is talk about themselves if you listen long enough, right? So just listen, right? Like, it just baffles me how ignorant people are. Like, yes, do we have some things that we do in America as Black Americans, as Black folks that's effed up? I have Black fatigue, and I'm a Black person. Yes, we do some effed up stuff sometimes, just like with anything. But it's just the superiority that, for me, like, who are you to think that you're better than us? Oh, especially be those Nigerians. But they can't keep their ass out of the America, out of the United States of the America. That's a different story for a different day, right? So I'm not gonna hold y'all too much longer. So my point in just saying this and ranting and venting is just to say that we are more alike than we are different. And we don't have to keep being in a diaspora war or whatever, bumping heads, talking bad about each other, because everyone has an opportunity to grow. Everyone has an opportunity to do better, right? And we all have things about our culture that are beautiful. I don't know what the Black Brits got, but or British or whatever they call themselves. I don't give a damn. But let me go ahead and wrap this up, okay? So hopefully I didn't bore y'all. And I have been keeping it on task, because let me tell y'all, when I say I've been getting long-winded on these podcast episodes. So right now I'm just doing video right now. I'm gonna switch over to audio too as well. But again, let me stop because I started rambling. But anywho, thank y'all for joining me. And it's only going to get better from here. So go ahead and subscribe. Let me know. Comments, either it's negative, it's like, hey girl, I don't think you were right. I think you right. Whatever. You bald head. I don't like the way you look. I don't care, but I love y'all nonetheless. Until next time, protect your energy, protect your peace, and just love on each other, right? This is the one life that we have to live. Why do we have to spend it hating each other? And so with that being said, I'm out, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day.